Well, it's May 21, 2017, and so this is the first of a few periodic updates I plan to make on the garden. And you'll see what it is out at the farm the very first year that I've tried this. And admittedly, I didn't put near as much work into it as I do at the garden at home. So let's take a look at how things are looking. This is a little overview of it. You can see over there some of the asparagus, some onion. There's the elderberry right here in front, and other things that I've talked about in a previous one. This is the first part of what I've actually planted as the garden. Lots of broccoli, and so I like broccoli, but I probably got enough at the house. I'm not putting a whole lot of effort into weed eating out here, or weeding the garden. What I'm trying to do is just kind of keep them under control just enough that I can grow the plants faster than I do the weeds themselves. So broccoli at the first. Let's walk down to the other end and we'll see what else we've got. We're down near the other end. Now the broccoli is just now starting to mature. I've got a few small heads forming. As we get down to the far end of this broccoli, you can see all the goat weeds. These things are amazing. You can have an area that's been in virgin forest for millennia. Plow it up, goat weeds pop up. But at any rate, these are some of my tomato plants that are coming up. Not sure what variety. I got them mixed up, and Frost got a lot of them also. Right there, that's either, well, actually, that's going to be pumpkin. I take that back. It's going to be cantaloupe. That's what that's going to be. I saved some cantaloupe last seed. I'm starting to get into saving seeds, and so I just scooped out some seeds, spread them on paper towel, dried them, and now as I've just stuck a bunch of them in the ground here, you can see they're actually coming up quite well. Now the goat weeds, like I say, I'm just trying to grow plants faster than the goat weeds grow up. Down here, this is the end of the soil. If you look, there's the pond. At this end of the garden is a lot of the soil or dirt. I wouldn't go so far as to bless it with the name soil. Some of the dirt that I pushed out is probably better used for silicon chips than it is for garden soil. And you can tell the plants down here are hardly coming up at all. You know, some of these tomatoes are virtual basket cases. So you can see that looks like maybe it's a watermelon coming up right there. I'm not sure. But at any rate, let's walk over to another lane or another line and take a look. Another problem with down at this end of the garden also is the fact that water tends to stand on it. The soil gets really, really saturated and soft and muddy. Okay, more tomato plants. You can see I've got 3 rows of beans right here. Not that I like beans all that much, but a lot of these are, well, a lot of them I think are seeds I've saved from last year, and you can still see some of them amongst the goat weeds. So I'm getting a little bit bigger here. But really, I've got a plan for this. I'm going to harvest lots and lots of these seeds, let them dry on the vine, and harvest them, save them, and then plant them next year. And kind of what I'm doing is I'm going to try to set up the native Central American milpas system, where you have 1 year of corn, followed by a year of beans, followed by a year of squash, and just rotate things like that. So I'll have beans in every second or third year in my garden, and just keep rotating those each year as I go along, so that hopefully that'll build up the soil. That's one of the reasons I didn't put a lot of work into it this year. I knew the soil was going to be pretty sorry. You can see around some of the tomato plants right there, I put some cow patty fertilize, natural fertilize. I lease the land out to a neighbor who keeps cows out here, and periodically I'll harvest some of that manure for some of my plants. So it's all nice, hearty, organic. Okay, now around here, this is getting disappointing. I have 2 varieties of sorghum and 1 or 2 varieties of corn. There's a guy about 5 miles from me. If I ever see him in his garden, I'm going to go out there and talk to him, because his corn, I swear, is dark green, close to 3 feet tall. So I don't know exactly it's just my soil type. Maybe he's just pouring a ton of fertilizer on there or something. Absolutely humiliating to see somebody doing so well, and man, oh, I wonder if I'll get anything out of this. But anyway, I've got 2 varieties of sorghum. My idea there is you can make flour or sorghum meal, sort of like cornmeal out of that. And so that's what I'm going to try. And I'm also going to harvest a lot of acorns next year. You can also do that. And I think it's a recommended mix about 50-50% acorn with regular flour or cornmeal. So I'm going to try that. I've also got beans planted in here. You can see right there a good view of one of them. Most of these are going to be pole beans. And so if the corn and the sorghum ever get tall enough, then in theory, those beans will climb up those corn plants and use them as a support. Looks like right here I changed types of corn or something. These plants seem to be a little bit taller than previous ones. Again, not putting a lot of effort into weed eating or weeding out here. Now we get down to, actually I've already started a few feet in this right-hand row is okra. And over there you can see there's actually about 3 rows of okra here. You can barely see them. They're not doing too well either. But this is kind of a red colored okra. You know, if you go to the store, you get Clemson spineless, and that's about the end of it. You know, if you go to Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that. But if you'll go to some of these places online that specialize in heirloom varieties, there's actually probably a dozen or more types of okra in existence. You'd never know that from a regular catalog. And I like these heirloom varieties. There's nothing wrong with hybrid plants. But I'm getting into seed saving, and with a hybrid, you're not sure just what you're going to get if you save those seeds. And this way, at least, I'm helping to preserve those heirloom plants with their unique traits, and I know what I'm going to get every year. Not exactly sure what this is. It looks like watermelon. Wouldn't make sense to plant it in a row like that, but I guess here in a couple of weeks, hopefully, I'll be able to tell just exactly what kind of plant that is. Well, that's my first update on the garden. It's kind of nice today. We got a little shower. I've got 7/10 of an inch earlier this week, and just a nice little shower kind of slow things down this morning. And so here another 2, 3, 4 weeks. Hopefully the garden will be looking a lot better. I'll run another update.